Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Checkpoint. I remembered what the podcast was called. Yay!
Only half your hand was in the screen.
Oh well. So episode 3. We're not doing a normal episode today. We are quite tight on time because we're recording earlier than normal. We are not in work today, and we have to collect Cassie in half an hour. So this is probably going to be like a 25-minute episode rather than a 40-minute episode.
It's 9:30 now.
Yeah, I'd say 25 minutes if we can. So, and it's a special episode today because where have we been, Stephen?
We've been to see Spider-Man.
We
Brand
have.
new day.
We have. So I think what we're going to do today is just do a quick intro / catch up for the week, and then we're just going to get basically straight into Spider-Man. And then we'll be back to normal next week. So how's your week been?
I never know what to say with these things. Like,
Well, think about it in
work.
advance. You know what's coming up.
It's work. Okay.
The camera's that way.
I know. I always look away when I think. So I've started Dispatch on Xbox, which is I've been waiting for that to be ported for a long time. So
I hear you laughing a lot when you're playing it.
It's very, very good. I've just finished episode 2 of 8.
Oh, it's episodic.
Yeah, so it's like
didn't know
Telltale.
that.
It's made by the people who made Telltale and Tales from the Borderlands.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm also playing Halo. What's it called? It's not Combat.
It's Combat Evolved, isn't it? But this like the remake of it, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it now. Oh God, I should know.
The new Halo game that came out.
So I'm playing that. I'm up to mission 4. I'm playing that with my friends, and I'm also progressing with Metal Gear Solid Delta.
So you're doing quite a lot, really, then, aren't you?
Yeah.
And you've been playing Football Manager.
Because when you're streaming, I can't play with my friends, so I'm currently playing Metal Gear Delta and Dispatch.
Yeah. And Football Manager. I've seen you playing that.
Yes.
You want to talk about your history of Football Manager?
No.
He's always played
It's
Football
incredibly
Manager.
addictive, is all I'll say, and I think I average around 200 to 250 hours
Per year.
per year on Football
Are you
Manager.
playing as United, or are you playing
I normally have a save where I start as unemployed, which can be quite fun sometimes. Other times it's not fun when you get halfway through a season and you're still unemployed. And then I've also got my main...
It's realistic.
Yeah, true. I've also got my main Manchester United save.
Right.
Yeah. You?
Okay.
How about you?
So, I haven't played Black Flag. I'm just playing Call of Duty. I love it. I'm just in that
So you
phase.
finished 1 and 2
So I
now?
finished Modern Warfare 2019.
Yep.
And I've started Modern Warfare 2, which is my favourite of the 3. Yeah, really enjoying it. I'm streaming it. Please
Tune in.
watch along on either Twitch or watch the uploads to YouTube. Let me know what you think. I've realised now that I had some audio issues. Even when I thought I'd fixed the audio issues I had, the balance wasn't quite right, but it should all be fine now. So yeah, please join and follow along. And yeah, I watch me, do stupid stuff that I don't mean to, or the driving mission's done now, thankfully, because I can't drive in video games. I'm terrible at it. But yeah, gaming wise, that's pretty much it. I just stick with the one thing. Black Flag I will get back to, but yeah, I'm enjoying Call of Duty more right now, and I definitely want to get it done probably before we move, which I will realistically do now, and just because I don't know what this is going to look like after we move, which is in about a month now. So yeah, want to get it all done. So that's me in terms of the rest of the week. Work, obviously today's Friday and we have had the day off. It's the first day off I've had since May, which is nice. We'd never get to go to the cinema anymore. We used to have Cineworld cards. We used to go a lot until we had Cassie. But now it's like the last film we saw at the cinema was Superman, which I can't remember exactly. He wore that to see Spider-Man. I mean, come on. You're asking for trouble.
Why?
Because it's Superman.
So? I love them both equally.
Yeah, then why aren't you wearing a Spider-Man t-shirt then?
Batman. Because I don't have a Spider-Man t-shirt.
So you just thought you'd wear another entirely different superhero t-shirt rather than just wearing a normal t-shirt?
I'm wearing the superhero t-shirt. None of the others would exist if it wasn't for Big Blue.
Okay.
Not talking about me either there. If you get the reference.
I think you need to speak a bit louder looking at those bars. It's picking me up really nicely.
I have a soft voice. I can't
Move
help
up a bit and then you'll be nearer it. You're further away than me.
No.
Well, then you have to speak
Because
louder.
then you moan about that. Oh, you look disproportionately bigger, even bigger than you are.
Well, no, but I look quite big compared to you in this, so we're still learning as we're going. We'll get there. We're not professionals in any sense of the imagination, are we? No. So I had a gaff today, so we'll briefly talk. That normally we say, has there been anything funny or embarrassing in the week? And normally the answer is no. However, this morning we both dropped off Cassie at nursery, and someone was parked really badly.
Oh.
And so Cassie asked why we weren't parking in the normal space. So I said, there's someone else parked in that space quite badly. Oh, I'm the first person to call out when I park badly, and I do park badly. I don't like driving. And the woman was walking back to her car right past us as I was talking about how badly she'd parked.
Oh, well.
I'm assuming she heard me. I don't know
I'm
that
sure
she
she
heard
did.
me,
I'm
but
sure
then if
she
she did hear me, she would have also heard me acknowledging the fact that I know that she heard me. And then laughing about it because I'm an idiot.
This is true.
Am I going to change? No. I would do that again, probably. Anyway, after that, we went to the cinema. So it's going to get spoilery from here. I will do a quick spoiler free, and then we'll go into spoilers. So if you've not seen it, carry on watching. We will warn you before spoilers start. So spoiler free. What did you think of the film?
It was good. Like I said, I think all the Spider-Man films have been consistently good in the MCU. It's difficult to really talk about it in a spoiler-free kind of way. Like,
you can say you enjoyed it. You can give it a number out of 10 if that's what you want to do.
It was quite a long film.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like it, which is probably a compliment. But it could have easily knocked sort of 10, 20 minutes off it, and it wouldn't have harmed the overall quality. I gave it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was a good film, but they've all been consistently 8 or 9s out of 10s for me. The Tom Holland Spider-Man film.
So I enjoyed it. I would say it felt. I'm not going to say too long. It did feel long, and the reason for that is because there's a point where I thought it's wrapping up, and then it actually didn't.
Yeah.
And it continued, and there was another.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd call it another. It is another arc. It's not like a long arc.
That bit was confusing because based on previous films, it did feel like it was wrapping up.
Yeah.
And I was kind of in the cinema. I was sat there thinking, oh well, this is an interesting way to end it.
Yeah.
It clearly means there's going to be another one. And there's rumours, of course, that Tom Holland is going to be stepping away from the role as Peter Parker.
Where have you heard those rumours? Because I haven't heard them, and I don't want to put false information out there. So, what are your sources?
It's just social media.
So, proper rumours then, especially given I normally hear
I said
rumours.
rumours.
I've not heard this, so
I'd say rumours.
Take that with the biggest grain of salt you can find.
Yeah, but I mean, he probably doesn't want to do it forever.
I don't know. I mean, Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. said that, and then, if you've seen the Doomsday trailers, there they are.
That's just desperation, but that's not really the topic entirely.
Yeah, so I enjoyed it. It was good. I've always enjoyed, I'm not going to say every Marvel film has been fantastic, because there's been the odd one that's been average at best, but I love the MCU overall. Really enjoyed this film. It did feel a little different to the other Tom Holland Spider-Mans. I was expecting that. Whilst this is spoiler free for this film, I'm going to assume people watching have seen the previous films. Obviously, we know how the last one ended with no one knowing who he is. So I expect there was always going to be a different dynamic because you didn't have that friendship dynamic around him, and he's isolated now. May's gone, so it was always going to feel a bit different. So that did come through. He was more of a loner. Again, I am going to talk about this because it's in the trailers, but Punisher is obviously in this film. So there was a dynamic there with him which worked really well. But again, it was different. It wasn't. Frank is not Ned, very obviously. So there was different things playing out there. And one thing I will say, this is a gaming podcast, predominantly, I actually felt like there was a big influence from the recent games that have come out for Spider-Man. It felt more, it was very New York, whereas the previous films have either been not even set in New York, or they've been like around his school and things like that. Whereas this was like downtown New York, so you've got your massive skyscrapers, you know, you're swinging from building to building, drops from great height. There's quite a few like perspectives from Spider-Man's sort of shot. So yeah, it felt a lot more like the game to me, and some of like the combat as well reminded me of some of the moves in the game. So yeah, it's a good watch. Obviously, if you like your MCU or just Spider-Man, definitely give it a watch. We actually saw it with someone who's never seen an MCU film before and has only ever seen one Tobey Maguire Spider-Man film. He enjoyed it. He obviously, a lot was lost on him because it's part of a wider world. But yeah, he still enjoyed it. And so for someone literally 37 films into the MCU, this was his first one. Yeah, he still enjoyed it. So I think we'll go spoilery now. So this is your warning. If you've not seen it, if you don't want to see spoilers, stop watching. Okay? Bye-bye. See you later. Come back when you have seen it. And let us know. Right. Spoilers. Do you want to start with what you told me as we were in the car park? Your prediction.
Yeah, so we had a bit of a prediction on the drive-in as to who
Sadie Sink.
Sadie Sink will be playing.
Fantastic actress. Just to say, I love her.
I'll be honest, I've been a bit disillusioned with the MCU since Endgame, so my interest in it diminished and was exasperated by Cassie coming along because we just didn't have time to watch the TV shows either.
Yeah, we've kept up with the films, although a mixture of at home and in the cinema.
Yeah.
But the TV shows we've completely fallen off. We've barely watched.
And to be honest, like my long running stance and hasn't changed as it should have ended at Endgame. To be honest. But we had on the drive-in, we had a bit of a chat about who she would play. A lot of the theory online was that she was going to be Gwen Stacy, for example. And I just put it out there that I thought personally that she might be Jean Grey. And then, as it turned out, she was Jean Grey. So I was incredibly smug. Fantastic that not that the X-Men were introduced in any way, but just nice to have an X-Men character.
I mean, we've had elements of X-Men throughout, multiversally, throughout other MCU films, haven't we?
It's all building up to their return, isn't it? In Doomsday.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought she was absolutely fantastic in that film.
She is. I mean, all the actors are good.
I'd go as far as to say she stole the show in that film. I thought her and Tom Holland were absolutely fantastic. All
the actors are good. They're always on their A game, but she was absolutely fantastic. I'm gonna put it out there that she's the best on like live action iteration of Jean Grey in terms of acting ability that we've had. And that's no disrespect to any of the other actresses.
Well, it's a bit early to say. I mean,
but just the emotion.
Yeah, the emotional range she showed.
Yeah. She has the potential.
But let's wait and see until she's actually in
an X-Men film. Yeah, but she is absolutely amazing. I hadn't even considered that she would be Jean Grey, and then talking about this afterwards, I realised I should have because I don't know if any of you saw any of the San Diego Comic-Con bits, but obviously Ryan Reynolds was there cosplaying as Deadpool. Is it cosplaying if you're the actor? I don't know. He was Deadpool there. But he was wearing... I saw it that it was known as Jean Paul, as in Jean, which straight away was a Jean Grey hint, but I was thinking that was a Doomsday reference, not a Spider-Man reference, so I hadn't even considered it for Spider-Man. And he was wearing grey, and then I've only just made that reference as Jean Grey.
I think my suspicions were confirmed when she started to... what's the word? Jump.
Taking over minds.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd already planted the seed for me at that point, so as soon as I saw that, I was already
I was pretty convinced at that point, and then,
but if I hadn't, when I first saw the abilities of the antagonist in the film, I didn't know it was her. You don't know at that point that it's a female, even, let alone that it's Sadie. So at first I was like, oh, should I know who this villain is? Because I don't know who this villain is. And then obviously as it became more and more apparent that it was actually her, then when the reveal of Jean happened, I was excited, but I wasn't as shocked as I would have been if you hadn't mentioned anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you don't know that going in, So hopefully no one's watching that isn't aware, because you spoil it for yourselves now. So well done. It's a great reveal. It really is. And obviously, like, mutants aren't really a thing. Not that's been explained so much, at least. I mean, again, we had this discussion about how you could argue, like, with Spider-Man himself in this film, his genes are mutating. He's becoming more like an arachnid in the film. And you could almost argue that his genes are mutating, but again, we had this discussion in the car. We threw Cap in there. Again, he had the serum, which mutated him, but they're not born that way. There's been an intervention, whereas traditionally, please correct me if I'm wrong, traditionally the X-Men as we know them have all been born with the mutant X gene, which has led to their powers, as opposed to some form of intervention happening during their lives where they were born normal, and then something happened which made them into what they became. So I think it's all really exciting. I've gone from, whilst I don't agree with Stephen, I do think there's a future for the MCU. I've not been excited about the MCU since Endgame. I was the person who, trailer came out and I was like, woo, trailer. And then we'd go to midnight launches of the films on, I mean, we can't do that now because of Cassie anyway, but I was looking forward to this film, but I wasn't excited. But this was a really good film. Would you say it's the best since the last Spider-Man film?
I mean, to be honest, the MCU has been pretty poor since Endgame, so...
I think poor's a strong word. I would say it's been pretty average.
No, it's been poor. I said it should have ended at Endgame. And I'm adamant on that. Like,
it could have ended there.
It should have. It ended. It was a perfect ending.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect ending. It didn't need to keep going. But I understand Disney needs to keep making money. I understand that. Yeah, it's one of the best films of this phase, or any phase, to be fair.
It could stand up there against the best of the films within. I mean, if you had to talk about the wider MCU in terms of what your favourite films would be, it's really difficult at this point because there are so many really good films, but it is in that grouping of good films, definitely.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And to be fair, I've lost touch with the cinema in recent years. There's loads of films that have come out years ago now that I still haven't seen. But the trailers that we saw...
Rubbish.
It doesn't look like there's that much good coming out.
Half an hour of adverts as well.
Yeah, the amount of adverts you get now, I know it's a big release, so they're going to put more adverts on, but that was pretty... As a cinema experience, it wasn't really very good. No. The film was,
and for the price,
but the cinema experience itself really wasn't.
Like, I get tickets discounted through work, but look at those snacks that we paid. It was
16 pounds for a small popcorn and 2 bags of minstrels.
That's unbelievable. Like,
it is really expensive.
It's robbery.
Yeah,
it's robbery.
Oh, I gave a bit of money to charity. They rounded it up
to 16, but it's still it's robbery from Cineworld.
Yeah.
And then to sit through half an hour of adverts, it
was more. It was half an hour when I looked at the time. It was more than that.
It put me in a bad mood, but luckily the film.
Yeah, the film was.
The film more than made up for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are running out of time because we do have to pick up Cassie, and recording this now before we pick her up does mean that I'll hopefully get streamed later. Although I am tired, I'm hoping I don't fall asleep with her, because if that happened last night, and if that happens tonight, I won't get a chance to stream.
I think best bits for me, really quickly, outside of Sadie Sink's performance, the dynamics between Spider-Man and Punisher.
Yeah, I was about to say Frank. He was great. John Berthnall, obviously, he's a great actor. We all know that.
I thought
he was really good.
Yeah, I thought.
And his emotional range, which you don't really expect from him.
He's a good actor. No, he's a good actor.
No, but as a character, you think of Punisher as being a certain way, but he showed depth in this.
No, but if Punisher in the comics, he's always a tortured soul, isn't he?
Yeah, but it came through.
Yeah, but you would think credit to the actor.
As a component of a larger film that isn't his film, he's an extra piece in that film, and it's got so many great actors and so many big parts. I don't know what his screen time was, but what he managed to show during his screen time was fantastic.
I think they're both in that film for the main reason they're both in that film is to remind.
Who's both?
Punisher and the Hulk.
Oh yeah, of course. We haven't even spoke about Hulk.
They're both in that film. They're both in that film ultimately to remind Peter about what can happen.
Yeah.
If you go down a certain road. So obviously we know most people will know Punisher's backstory and the loss of his family. He's forever trapped in that cycle of grief and anger and despair, isn't he? Which is what Peter could have gone down when he lost Aunt May in the last film. And
he lost MJ and Ned as well,
Yeah,
not in the
of
same
course,
way,
yeah.
but he still
And
lost
then-
them. He's still living without them in his life.
And then poor Banner is forever living in that fear and the shadow of turning into the monster that is the Hulk.
So, something
So
we've
it's-
not touched on.
I've just gone pretty
No,
deep then. You just
no,
glossed over...
I'm sorry. I thought about this when you were talking. Hulk went full Hulk. Like, we've not seen full Hulk
You've only seen that
since
in
the
first
original Avengers
movie.
film.
Yeah, when Natasha
So-
in the helicarrier.
Yeah,
Hulk.
when he was chasing that, and genuinely, when I first saw that film, he actually scared me. I remember seeing it at the cinema and being
They still don't quite do the Hulk justice for me compared to the
He
comics
wasn't-
of how terrifying
he wasn't a huge
is.
part, was he?
No, but it was he was in it for the exact reason
Yeah.
why I've just said.
Yeah,
So it's to do with reminding Peter of, you know, what can happen if you go down certain ways. And,
Yeah.
and Banner is forever trying to not become the Hulk.
yes. He's fighting
and-
that internal battle all the time.
Yeah.
And I think everyone has an internal battle with elements of
And
themselves.
interestingly, Peter comes up with or expands on some technology that Bruce Banner creates, which is to suppress certain parts of your DNA. In other words, to suppress the Hulk. I think that could actually end up becoming quite a good plot device for
Yeah,
the
X-Men.
X-Men.
Yeah.
You know, and if anyone's seen the animated series of the X-Men or Days of Future Past, things like that,
What was
massive parts of
what's
the
Peter Dinklage's character called?
Trask.
Yeah, that's
Task.
it.
So one of the massive plot lines of
Yeah.
X-Men is kind of like the suppression of the X gene and everything else.
Because they're dangerous, and obviously that's the whole motivation of Magneto.
And Peter has inadvertently, for the right reasons,
Created a solution.
created that technology
Yeah.
that can actually suppress
But-
even Jean's powers.
But
So-
you see throughout the film that Peter actually he gets rid of it in the end. He uses it to try and stop the changes happening with him, but
Yeah.
he ends up embracing it, and that's actually a lesson he learns. MJ touches on it at one point, but he learned that lesson from Jean.
Yeah, but I don't think he would have learned that lesson if it wasn't for the Punisher and Banner being in it. Because
And Jean.
Yeah, as well, because they each of them has shown him the extremes of what you can become.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good film, very good film.
Final point from me is I'm quite excited now. Now we know who's playing Jean Grey for the rest of the X-Men cast. Obviously, we know that the OG X-Men, at least, don't know about the reboot that happened a
don't
few
think
years
they
ago,
know.
but we know that a lot of
I
those
don't
actors are returning in Doomsday, but we've got the
don't
multiverse involved, so that is relevant. I'm assuming then that like your James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, I don't think they're in it, but I'm guessing somewhere in a multiverse they exist. So who are we going to get next? That's my question.
Well,
Mystique is in Doomsday.
She
Which
is.
Mystique is it? We've not seen an actress attached to that.
no, but I think you do see her face in the Doomsday trailer, don't you?
You don't see her. She transforms.
No, you do see.
Who does she transform into?
She turns into
Yelena?
yeah, but you do see her as Mystique's face in the trailer.
Who is also in Spider-Man, and she's great as ever. Florence.
It's a weird
Florence
cameo,
Pugh.
but
Yeah.
she's a great actress.
Yeah, she
but
is
very
good.
weird cameo.
Right.
It's almost as like she just had it on a bucket list to be in a swimming pool for the majority of a film.
It was a sauna.
Well, whatever.
Or was it? Was it just a hot swimming
It was
pool?
like a sauna, wasn't it?
I don't know. Either way,
It's
it
about
works.
Spring or whatever.
Right, I really do have to go now. So thank you for joining us. Please send us a comment. What did you think of the film? Have you seen it yet? Hopefully you have, or you stopped watching before you got to this point. But yeah, it's great. Go watch it if you haven't. Join us on the rest of the videos as well, if you can. There is someone who watches every single, at least the Call of Duty videos. I consistently have one person within a day watch and like it, and I don't know who you are. If you're watching this as well, let me know who you are.
I'll laugh if it's the actor who plays Bryce.
No, it's not going to be. And that would make me feel uncomfortable.
Why? You
I don't know.
freak?
I don't know. It would. I would feel really self-conscious if it ended up being someone like that.
That's weird.
Why?
Yeah, he's fine. But
Anyway, whoever you are, let me know. I'm curious because Snake is always
it's
there.
probably you when you've been setting
No,
the
it's
stream up
not.
and then you've just left it.
No, I
on.
never watch it on YouTube. So Snake is always there on Twitch. Someone else is always there on YouTube. Tell me who you are. I'm curious. Not in a weird way. I just want to know who you are and to thank you for, actually taking the time to watch me. It's appreciated. Like and subscribe, everyone. I need to start saying that. Apparently it works. Right. Definitely have to go now. So, thank you and goodbye. See you all later.